playing his first map away from Chamber.
Yeah, on that
champs.
Older looks with the compositions. And a pistol round to start us off here on ASCENT.
And in some sense as well, it feels like OpTic realizing that DRX will know exactly how to play that triple initiator comp, because it's so similar to what DRX currently play, and it was a comp they invented in the first place,
as
the
pull it
devs
out
were saying.
Against the team that essentially invented it.
Yeah,
and
instead...
yeah, that would have been hubris on another level, I think.
Perhaps. But instead they've gone for something radically different.
Yeah.
OpTic in this tournament as well have only shown multiple comps on Breeze so far. So this is, again, a new layer as we get deep into the tournament.
One of the things that OpTic moving away from the triple initiator comp does for them is that they don't have constant information gathering. They don't know that DRX have really cut noise in this fashion. A close sniper dash into the cloudburst. Buzz wants to lead the way for the rest of his squad, but Yay, close position into the corner and nobody is watching it.
It's another first kill. He's as good with them on Jet as he ever is on Chamber. What is this play from Buzz?
In danger! Drops down! And that is so much damage being done. A double play, the double setup there into Hell, and it's a fast approach as they try and take their marks! Buzz has just been unleashed. And 3 kills in a round for him. The setup, the crossfire was there. And a spike plan on top means a lot of money that they get to move into this next round with.
Yay was the hero on the pistol, RB was the hero on the pistol round for Fracture, and now it's Buzz for RB. This is Ye's first appearance as Jet in Stage 2.
Just ridiculous.
Yep. It was all the way back, I think, in Reykjavik.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was even before that.
Probably the Breeze game. He was playing Jet in that.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brent. I think you're right.
All the way back then in the finals.
All the way back. In the finals of Reykjavik, the last time we saw this. They felt like they had no right to win that map, and they did anyway. But it's a great start from DRX, and they are incredible at this map. 3-0 at Champions for DRX on ASCENT. The devs were talking about how good they've been on it, with some huge scalps they've taken too. But every one of those wins has gone to overtime. Yeah. And they've set records. And then they've broken their own records in terms of how deep they're going. A 1917 win, and I don't mean the year, over FPX, to be able to pull that one away.
They've all gone to OT.
They've gone so deep. But they've beaten such excellent teams on this map.
And the early damage that Zest took meant that handed over the rifle to somebody else with a bit more health to work with. Turret needs to be destroyed though. And Buzz going to be activating that dash as well as he tries to make the moves. All the way forwards, that's going to be the door closed onto them now as they look at the swarm and contain the players here. Yeah, Crashes is doing a good job of biding time and buying time for the rest of his team, but still, he's at the back of the site and he needs to be dealt with. Classic right click, still the angles are going to be watched for and he had nowhere left to run.
One enemy remaining.
Mako cleans things up. Buzz with 3 in the round as well. And DRX, at the moment, demonstrating a very slow, very controlled beginning to these rounds.
Yeah.
And then picking a site and bursting. No splits, no mid-control yet. Just watching for the OpTic aggression, looking to punish, and then bursting into a site.
Now looking at this bonus round here for DRX. What direction do they want to take it in? Still very split and spread out across the map with their attacking protocol.
I'd be tempted to have Buzz get full armor and just use the knives here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Choosing to go with a hero vandal.
Shutting them down.
At least some playmaking opportunities off of that, but maybe a read coming through. Knife going to be tagging. So Ye's going to be backed away. Now a drone to try and get a re-clear going into mid as well. Gives Zest a bit of information, but broken, so it's going to add some question marks in terms of wondering, is there a player playing on top of the pizza box?
Definitely. The smoke comes down here and they're looking to set up for an A split. OpTic with the double face. Ye, Victor controlling this area with the fragment grenade already used, or perhaps not invested in this round actually.
Beautiful flash over the top. Ye was playing anti. Anti to it once more. Another flash play and it's run and gun. There's the name of the game. Stag somehow beams down too.
Only 2 players left alive though for DRX, 2v3. They haven't broken the alarm bot in mid, and FNS continues to control B, mid, and allow the OpTic players to stack on the other side. It does look like FNS is going to get tested, though.
Yeah. There's 30 seconds left in this round. DRX,
30 seconds left.
Going to be making the play now over towards B.
Even if FNS falls here, there's still great retake tools with the Paranoia and the drone online. The question is just whether FNS can do damage, can get a kill, can make this even easier for OpTic.
That's time going to be bought there. The nanoswarm has popped off. Rotation's finally going to start to come through, and FNS, he is in trouble here at the back of the site. Seas does not connect. It's going to be lighting them up, though. Beautiful dart across the map, but it has to be held now. FNS does not have much to work with, but he is still anchoring. But Mako wins the fight. Down to that 2v2. The drone gets good value here, and it's up to Stax holding close now to see if he can make some moves. Whips it around with the rifle. Marved isolates it, takes it to the 1v1. Him versus Stax. It's a fake TP in a smoke dashed across the site. It's going to cause a misinformation that he's looking for, but Stax over the side, and he wins it out. 4 kills, and the bonus round secured.
DRX with a great beginning to this map, and Stax stepping up alongside Buzz. Stax has been so quiet in this series so far. A player that's normally pulling out huge moments. But ASCENT is a bit of his playground. It doesn't matter whether he's playing the Breach or here on Fade as well. Looking so clean in the clutch.
The confidence is there.
That bonus round has just boomed OpTic. I mean, the buy is just looking dreadful here.
Absolutely dreadful. You can see him just opting to try and take some risks here. They still want to fight this one. At least they did for a moment with the flash. Victor and Marved was really opened himself up to some angles there when it's just spamming with the Sheriff.
And I felt like the last time we watched OpTic, they had a ton of different set plays. They were borrowing Leviathan's set play to put pressure onto people that were starting their default over on tiles. Then they were using all of this space in mid, with Ye pushing. All of these ideas now need to be retooled with the different composition that they're working with.
It changes a lot.
It changes everything about their play.
Here.
And it makes things much more standard, I think. There are, of course, pros and cons. You're hoping you can come out with some ideas that DRX won't have VOD reviewed.
Deploying drone.
But the start here of this map, very much in DRX's control, and it's another really slow round. The first minute on the clock, barely doing anything for the Korean team. Just making sure that OpTic don't have an aggressive play that works.
But a play now being made. Smokes going to be laid down with a Haunt over the top as well. Crashes does have that recon. He's looking to try and send it out for a bit of a spam angle, but it doesn't reveal anything. Positioning going to be gained now onto the side as well. Lovely sees over the top that just finds the feeder. Crashes, locks him in place up onto Heaven. Pop flash play with a Paranoia. That's supplemented really quite nicely here. OpTic, they had a window of opportunity, but guess what? There was a pull in place at the door. No one able to really just push up off the back of all that utility that was being used. And a 4th round here for DRX. This is them looking like they are
Fulfilling it.
really trying. The energy is there, but OpTic off the back of this timeout now are going to be making adjustments. Notably, Ye here with the operator.
And this is very much a similar play that Ye usually goes for. He's got Crashies with him this time to try and break any recon darts, that kind of thing.
Angle as well at tiles, just in case.
But think about the way that Ye would play this on Chamber. He'd always be able to escape in a moment, whereas now he needs to preempt it with the dash. And so these passive, not passive, but aggressive positions that he holds for a long period of time don't work as well.
Yeah.
He needs to be getting very mobile around the map in order
it
to.
up.
Yeah, it does. It can feel like the two agents are quite similar, but the way you maximize value can be a little different.
And the spike is over towards B. This knife across the map. RB, this looks like it's going to land on A for an A fake. Knife over the top. Two
Stax.
players there.
Nightfall.
Nightfall as well. Yeah, they are really selling this fake quite well. A lot of utility being dumped into this one, including Buzz, who is up close and personal, but Marv will shut that one down. The B site, timing is everything. This time FNS has caught on to it, though.
FNS pulled back the turret, but he still has the nanoswarm.
And they have the crossfire. Crashes from the high ground of market. The spike needs to be reclaimed, but with 22 seconds left, Marv as well. Tries to take the fight straight to them here. Not enough to win it out. Stax too far away to do too much else.
10 seconds
That
left.
is a really cute idea for a round, especially coming out the back of an OpTic timeout. Throw something very unusual at them. And OpTic, I think, were a little lucky to get away with that.
Yeah.
If the defensive setup had been different and FNS was on A, I think that round definitely works. And if FNS has his nanoswarms in more passive positions, you know, a double setup down lane, for example, or one at the switch to catch Buzz's dash, any of those kind of setups also help DRX. But the spot was just so good. Look at that nanoswarm where it is on the floor. It stops Zest coming in and just allows the OpTic players to get back to the B site that they'd abandoned.
There.
It's a common spot that just keeps getting laid down there by FNS. And it does throw a wrench into their plans.
Ye is in an incredibly deep angle right now, anticipating a fast B push with RB using his null command. But instead, DRX are still slow, still cautious.
Now just poking their way and prodding towards mid, looking for a bit of that information, especially this alarm bot, which they don't really know where it is. Okay, smoke. Off in a common angle. The only other angle is really going to be...
Yeah, the smoke is not great, though. Ye still watches it, and so they don't have to worry about the alarm bot anymore.
Oh, and it's re-clear by OpTic. Look at this. Victor and Marv again making moves. All this space being gained into A main as well gives all the information to OpTic that is probably going to be leaning into the B hit.
And FNS is so far away here, he won't get caught by the null command. These nanoswarms will still go off.
Fully intentional. There you go. The call has been made. Nanoswarms on top of the switch. They know where Buzz has been dashing. It's a counterplay in action, but all the utility in the world still gets dumped into this site. It's down to Ye. Anchoring at the back, but being spammed out and pressured just too hard. And Zest, 3 kills in a round for him. Lovely little reset and adjustment with the aim to make sure that it was properly cleaned up.
And Brent, that is DRX finding value in a round where they got hard red.
Hard red.
I mean, FNS has his nanoswarms and is playing on the other side of the map to avoid getting suppressed.
Yep. Ye's at the back of the site anchoring.
Ye was at the back of the site with his operator, found a kill, wasn't able to do too much more, but that was the game plan from the beginning. They even read where Buzz is going to dash to.
Nanoswarms are where he's dashing.
I mean, OpTic had every piece of that worked out, and DRX still won. The way that they entered into the site was immaculate, and no one was really anchoring in a position where they could use the fact that Buzz was disrupted by nanoswarms.
Yeah.
The game plan was there, but the details and the execution not working for OpTic. And I feel like this slow pace to the beginnings of the rounds is frustrating Ye. He hasn't been able to get into this defense just yet. We haven't seen a round where Ye has dominated and pulled things back in his direction.
You just can't be aggressive when DRX are containing to this degree. They're making sure that any sort of aggressive push that might come through from OpTic is just going to be met and dealt with accordingly. And look at, you can feel like almost just the antsy behavior there, the double updraft just to see if he can catch a glimpse of someone in mid.
And then here comes the drone, so now there are going to be people in mid. Ye burning both of those updrafts, but he could still go for a challenge. Yeah. Looks like he wants to fight.
He wants to fight, and he will claim his reward.
Pops the dash off the back of that one too. But DRX, they're not going to stop. Continue to contact their way up mid. And when you play this slowly, your executes have to be perfect. There's only 20 seconds left.
The alarm bot now is going to tell and spill out a pretty familiar tale. Nanoswarm there, again cutting up this choke point. There is not a lot of time here. DRX trying to make the most of this one, but OpTic could absolutely boom this one. But it's a dart over the top, and it's down to Ye. The widest swing of Zest will clean him up. And where is the spike? It needs to be planted.
Spike planted.
It just gets down. Crashies had his Hunter's Fury there. Chose not to invest it. This flank is coming through from Victor. Crashies could still ult.
It's a 2v3. Closer positions, a bit of spam being exchanged as well. One side to the other. Zest is so low here. He's vulnerable to any sort of utility that might get used. What a kill to find. Paranoia is going to force the issue. And Marv cleans up once more. 2 kills to try and cover his teammates. A beautiful, beautiful retake there by OpTic.
Very nicely done by OpTic, but still only 2 rounds on the defense side. Everything working so far for DRX. That round, the time does end up being a little bit of a problem, but they still got into position. Had Crashy's not been able to find that kill on Mako, and you can see how much it means to Mako there. Had Mako been able to stay alive, I don't think this retake works. It's all coming down to fine details. But DRX are in control of a map in the first half for the first time. Both teams with the Hunter's Fury as well. That's going to make it difficult for FNS to get value out of the lockdown. He's still holding on this B position as the rest of DRX go towards A main quickly. But every time they've done this, they slow it down. They're never going for a complete fast hit.
Willing to disrespect his utility though by holding in A main. Knife pushes it back. Marked was hoping to get a bit of a paranoia flash play off of. And the anti-flash position of RB. He tried to swing out there, but a double face was what he was going to be meeting.
And it's another 4v5 round. DRX just lost one of those prior, where Ye was again able to get the first kill. DRX this tournament have been winning nearly a third of their 4v5 rounds. On Fracture, in the first half, they were winning 45% of them. Do DRX have what it takes here to continue the momentum going?
One-way setup, 50 seconds in the round. These knives are a definite problem for DRX when they're just trying to be a little bit more sly with the way that they're taking this round. But now the dash activated, and it's probably going to signal that they want to try and go off of this, but dashes to the side. In fact, got a kill as well. Fragment nade not going to be doing the work that it was supposed to. Updraft over the top on to Jenny. The paranoia latches on, and what a spray down. But from the side, Zest returns back into the action.
And the recon dart there is also perfect.
Ties him up, spam through the door, through the wall. To the ceiling, Hunter's Fury to try and deny this one. Time is running so low. FNS, 2 health to his name. Positioning, spike planted, he's been caught out. And it is just down to Crashies. He's been so consistent, so clean with it over the course of this entire tournament. But in a 1v2, the setup is not ideal for him.
He's got recon in 3.
Could get information off of it, but a tap of the spike, it does force it in the reposition here onto the side. Back has been caught, and a double face is just impeccable.
What a beautiful round from DRX. It's another 4v5. And if you're able to convert with a player disadvantage, as well as DRX are, it doesn't matter that Ye's getting all the first kills. It really doesn't matter.
Just getting a preview as well of what's occurring in terms of the timeouts being called. This is OpTic with their second timeout being used in the first half of this map. That spells honestly out.
Yeah, the first 2 maps, OpTic looked so dialed in. It felt like Reykjavik all over again, where they were going to lose the upper bracket allowed and cruise through a top-seeded Asian team. And DRX have still got fight in them. They've still got bite in them.
Rewriting it, making sure that the history doesn't repeat itself for now.
What's so interesting there about that round that we just watched as well is that OpTic decided not to double up for catwalk control and tree control, which would be the standard play, and instead Marved and Ye were both anchoring very deep onto the sites, and that allowed DRX to get in and trade. Now, you also had Buzz entering through tree with a ridiculous kill.
Yeah.
And the Battle of the Jets. It
is heating.
It has been back and forth, but it feels like no matter how much Ye does, they're still not able to capitalize. It's the late round that's defining these last 2 maps, not the early round.
There's no loss of nerve from the DRX players when they get into those scenarios, when they lose a player early. Deeper knife. Tagging onto the one again, but you're going to be seeing a similar tale over and over and over again, it seems. DRX are conditioning so heavily for the slow beginnings. Almost every single round that they've played so far on this attack side has just been off-the-rip containment, making sure that OpTic feel like they can't get away with any aggressive plays on the defense.
And FNS has normally had his Killjoy utility spread between mid and B. This is the first round I can remember where he's put it heavily on A. Ye doesn't have anything to work with here.
Yeah, he's just holding it with a classic.
This should absolutely be DRX getting up to 7. Ye, in fact, preempting that Prowler and drops off.
Yeah. Another dash forwards. Into the Cloudburst, just trying to, again, hide the movement. Yeah, up close with the classic. Doesn't get too much done. In fact, Buzz is there once more, cracking open the sight.
just easy pickings for
30
DRX.
seconds left.
And they're also reading the defensive utility that's coming through. Crashies has been playing from market pretty frequently and throwing out a recon dart that's designed to catch the players from DRX as they push in.
Yeah.
And Buzz is using both of his cloudbursts to hide from it, allowing his teammates to break it.
Great flank from Zest in mid. Tip top goes the rifle, but no kills flooding through.
That's a wonky one.
It is a weird one, but in a 2v3,
It's
FNS
given...
and Marv, they do claim rifles in this round.
Yeah, it's given rifles away. And honestly, the DRX economy is not amazing here. It might be worth Marv sticking around for these exits.
Play to the kill or
Last
two.
player standing.
We'll get
One
one.
enemy remaining.
In fact, another one as well. Down to that 1v1 stacks. Will probably end up keeping his rifle into this one, just running himself away. But it is that 7th round that you were talking about for DRX. They have such a commanding lead on this map. Such a commanding lead. And they just feel primed and ready almost. They want to bring it to that map number 5.
I haven't been very impressed this tournament with OpTic's defense on this map. And prior to Champs, that was their best area. However, OpTic's attack side has looked pretty good. So again, don't write these teams off yet. This map can still go in multiple different directions. But so far, DRX in commanding control. And it's these slow beginnings that OpTic are struggling to gain advantages from. And with that prior comp, OpTic were fighting so much for both A main and B main. Now they have to give one of them up for the Killjoy.
You can't do it anymore. You don't have triple initiators to work around, and this looks like a faster play. This is the prior conditioning, and guess what? OpTic were not ready for it.
Not in the slightest!
Not ready for it, man. All that slow play culminating into this round right here, right now, as soon as they turn up the tempo.
Spike planted.
What a beautiful shift of the gears. OpTic on a round where their economy could get broken, and it will be. Unless they go for the save right now. Any commitment to a retake there would have utterly ruined OpTic's chances at recovering the half at all.
Yeah.
8 rounds for DRX. And that is just, I mean, you're totally right, Red. That is a perfect conditioning. Just slow round after slow round after slow round. Hitting with 20 seconds on the clock, 30 seconds on the clock. And then within the first 20 seconds, a minute 20 left to spare, Buzz is dashing in on A. And FNS was caught with a Prowler latched onto him, running back into hell.
And I think
just not anticipating it at all.
The call for that, I think, came off the back of the fact that Victor normally knifes that position pretty close. He ends up getting a suppression on 3 targets, and it does stop any sort of fast, aggressive play. There was no knife at play this time around.
And all of the
A main
utility.
control for free, and yeah, look at that. Just leads Buzz in perfectly.
Yeah, you've got Recon Dart at work there, you've got a Prowler as well. He dashes into his smoke, and FNS lit up like a Christmas tree. DRX look like they're set up to go for that pivot play again, Brent, where they could go for a fast, they could go slow.
Here we
It's
go.
quick again.
More disrespect.
At least
Being
it's
shown! Fragmented into the corner, Arby will get the one, but guess what? Okay, Marv and FNS, rifles in hand.
Actually fighting for it this time, instead of sitting back. But the bad side, the downside there for OpTic, is that they lose their Killjoy. And it makes all of that utility over at Catwalk useless. They also lose a lot of their info. But of course, they're up 4v3. And that might make all the difference.
With Victor still alive, I think they are very worried of a potential pop flash play through main again. But DRX have not given up too much ground. It is the idea, at least in ahead, making noise there.
Yeah, there's a footstep.
I think Ye might have been able to hear that one.
Face your
Still the
fear.
nightfall. That's going to be scattered across the point. Now with a dart to the side as well. Somehow Ye still lands a shot. And guess what? He's still going to be here, remaining right behind Dice. It's up to DRX to try and remove him, but this guy is just nigh unstoppable when he gets going.
And that is a huge round from Brent, from Ye, Brent. You're not playing. It's a huge round from Ye, but I think what you said there is so key. When he gets going. And I feel like this is the only round where we've seen impact from him on this map. Everywhere that he's been prodding with the jet, DRX have not committed. And he's been struggling so much to get a read on where DRX are going to finish because DRX are silent. They're silent, they group, they push. It makes it so difficult for Ye to read where he should be on the map.
The spike's leaning over towards B main as well. The reposition once more. There are so many ultimates online.
Oh, they thought it was going to be a crunch there.
Tiles crunch. Two of the players are playing anti-flash close to the wall.
They heard the knives being popped from Ye and immediately went into a protocol to try and stop a mid-crunch.
This is a different direction, but Stax has got the angle locked. Did he expect Victor? Pop flash play, fully blinded up. He does return and eventually trade it.
And now a rare round where OpTic actually have B main control. Victor pulling out the operator. Not quite hitting that flick. But the amount of control they have on the outsides of the maps, the extremities, is massive here. Victor just has to make sure he doesn't get punished. Look at where Marco is.
Yeah.
Oh, he backs off just in time. That internal clock in his head.
Realizing that there was a possibility. In fact, he's watching this angle. Is Marco just going to be walking into this? Lockdown's going to be used. It is going to be an attempt into B. You can feel that no command as well. Spreading waves out as well. No ability is going to be able to use here by Crashies. Did he just not anticipate it? The knife was out, man. But Victor looks like to be the playmaker. Has to try and make the moves, and has a TP recontest. That was an attempt by Marv as well to try and play back with Victor. Now the knowledge is there from him, and another pop flash play. This guy has been a bit of a miracle worker for them.
Buzz was thinking about going and trying helping RB there and trading FNS. Zest is tucked behind this Cosmic Divide as well.
One shot, finds the target, finds the mark to the cranium. Wider swing out, and Zest is still tucked. Surely the pressure's being applied. Moves backwards. Smoke gonna be dashed across. The spray down, he's got his ult. The dart team down. As long as he stays alive here. Marv, what can you do to win this? Surely it's not winnable. It has to be the stick from Marv. Hunter's Fury as well. TP up top. Marv the playmaker. Tries to make it, but time has been bought. Expert maneuvering by Zest. That claims him the 9th round here for the Red Bull clutch.
Switching sides.
What a beautiful half from DRX. On a map where they're 3-0 at champions. This was masterful. The attacking round, so slow, so patient, never giving OpTic any opportunities, and the late round plays were just immaculate as well. DRX have been on a heater these last two, and they've put serious pressure. The ball is in OpTic's court right now to try and return.
DRX have got all the...
Especially in the game against Loud. Felt like they were getting the read on that. Maybe OpTic afraid that that would happen again here. But let's go, we're heading into round 13. OpTic need a comeback. Otherwise, DRX have managed to push this to map, I should say, 5.
All the way to the limits. OpTic are the kind of team as well. They probably didn't think that, especially off the back of the way that this series started, a team like DRX probably not capable of pushing them to that kind of limits, but OpTic have got a lot of experience in these situations. They know what it's like to play from behind. I'm going to be looking to try and make some marks and make some moves. That's going to be the drone used early on. It forces out that fragment nade.
Yeah, the fragment came out immediately, and instantly as well. That's started the lurk from FNS and Marv. They're backstabbing.
All the way through. There's no one else really just playing late, though. Finally, the teammates coming into cat, but oh boy! Buzz is just absolutely tearing them asunder. 3 kills in a round for him, and it was just ice cold. The OpTic attack there, Josh, was really disjointed. 3 players coming through the main primary choke point there, but there was no follow-up from the side. There was no other pressure.
Yeah, they actually went for a double backstab through Catwalk, and it was just ended up being too late. FNS picked up 1 kill on RB, and that was all that they managed to do with FNS and Marv. That could be the round that seals it on this map. OpTic tried something different here on Ascent, and it is not working. Look at that Jet head-to-head. 17-8 for RB, or for Buzz, sorry. 17-8 for Buzz. And on the other side of things, Ye not really finding the same opportunities to get into the game.
Just can't get the same value.
He will be the tip of the spear on this attack side, but when they've lost the pistol, there are so few rounds to give up.
There's no room. There's no buffer room anymore.
No.
Not on this map.
And DRX have done such a fabulous job of putting OpTic in a tough position. At the beginning of today, OpTic looked mad. They looked pissed off. They looked like they wanted to get as quickly as possible into the grand finals. And now they're being forced to take a real fight.
DRX proving to be a much trickier target than intended. Successful fall. He was in a bit of a sideline position. What is that by Ye?
Oh, just as we're talking about the fact he needs to be the tip of the spear, he delivers 2 entry kills like that.
Got to see a couple of more moments like that, I think, from El Diablo for a shot of this one, but he has made this round more than winnable for his team. Look at them, all grouped up towards the back of the site. Victor's really the only person playing up close.
DRX won the pistol round on Breeze, I think it was. He got beaten straight back. It looks like the same's happening here.
And what is the play? How do you maneuver around this one? Losing too many guns. A call has to be made, and Mako just wants to evacuate. He wants to get out of there, save the weaponry if they can. Whatever they can. Fragment Nate stops them in their tracks.
Oh, what?
Through the wall? What? Yay. I mean, listen, if there was ever a round for a yay moment, it would have been that one. But that is just ridiculous. Show me a replay of that one.
I mean, that is a monstrous round. Replay. Here it is.
What is that?
It's a great kill, but Zest was already flashed up. It's this one that broke my brain.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so good on the stacks.
In the pull, and check this one out. Fully revealed up. Pure prediction, pure instinct.
Oh.
Obviously knew where he was just from the highlight, but looking at a more even map.
He's been a superstar for OpTic this tournament, but not on Jet.
Here.
We have seen it in the past, however. We know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
Coming into this round with only a Sheriff. Oh no, he's got a Spectre to work with as well.
Just hunting for the one-taps. Respect being shown, and guess what? Even the Jiggle Peak, you're not safe from this guy.
That prompts Mako with the hero rifle to double up with Buzz on Catwalk. And Mako's going to re-clear mid. So they're going to have a pretty decent idea that the pivot has gone into B main right now.
Got to know that they're contained. Outburst again. Drop down to the feet there, so they was an opener for them. Now that's almost well clearing out all of these positions. Yeah, with the side anchor gone of Zest, this does become more difficult. The rifle was exchanged there. Mako took a lot of damage and he dropped it into the hands of Buzz. It looks like they still want to try and make some moves, maybe do a bit of economical damage.
Here.
What a shot done. Entertainment with the angles though. And there you go. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't need to see his opponents to kill them apparently. And now Mako needs to hold on to this rifle. Just in a super safe spot. And Ye is going to try and hunt for this one. If Ye dies or gets a kill, he's got knives for the next round. I mean, he might want to work up to an attack op as well. He does like to go for that occasionally. It's actually FNS who's the closest, but nobody's spotting Mako.
I think part of this danger now as we head into deeper and deeper into this next half of this map is the fact that Ye wasn't getting good value on the defense side. They were avoiding him a lot of the time, you know, making sure that they weren't playing within the op sight lines, making sure that they mitigated a lot of the stuff that Ye could do by playing so slowly. When OpTic are on the attack side, they get to pick and choose the pace to a degree, and Ye is unleashed to try and open up these sites for him.
In theory.
That should work.
But there's also a lot of tools that he has to avoid. This triple initiator comp can throw recon darts, haunts, you know, a 0-pointer, fragment grenade, just so many tools, basically.
Yeah.
The DRX have at their disposal that Ye is going to have to weave his way around. And Buzz was doing a great job of that on the attack.
They'll remove the recon, though. Early days. I'll be with the jump peak. Got to be careful that they don't catch a timing with this one as well. Fragment nade in his hands. And one of the downsides, I think, of DRX running this triple initiator comp is that they don't have a bit of that passive map control denial. You know, when you have a trademark in play, if you're running a chamber or whatnot, it's not really an option for them. DRX have to commit bodies down the sight lines to make sure players aren't creeping up mid.
And the most obvious place you can see it is a tree.
This flash pushes them back there, but that's going to be the no command. Yay. I mean, listen, no idea what's occurring right here. The now swarm at his feet, though, going to be tickling him for but a moment. Pressing the advantage, moves forward to Buzz with the rifle, sprays down two. Instant response with the swing. DRX are ready to contest, ready to brawl.
Unwinnable spot for FNS. A perfect destruction of that A-split attempt coming out from OpTic. It looked chaotic on our screens, but really what it came down to is that OpTic weren't coordinated enough.
No.
There was utility being used in layers, but they weren't following it up fast enough. Ye just got snarled up in tree, And you could see from his position how confusing it was.
Gotta give credit to.
But Buzz was tagged up by so much stuff. He was getting suppressed, then he got pushed back, then he got paranoia, then he got recon darted, and no one was there to follow up on any of that utility. So it's all about the timing, and it all went wrong for OpTic. DRX making that one look absolutely trivial. And I think, hitting on Barla's point earlier, this comp doesn't look as practiced for OpTic.
That's the double-edged sword of changing up your composition so late into a tournament. You're not going to have as much practice on it compared to the usual stuff that you've been showing. It's not going to be there for you. And it really does change up everything. Your protocols on attack side, defense side, little set plays that you otherwise were accustomed to.
We talked about how Ye was taking control of the game through mid, and he tries it again on Jet, and Buzz stops it in its tracks.
Shuts it down timing.
The drones?
Oh, he gets spotted out, has to destroy it. Backs away.
A little lucky to get out with his life there. Zest was close, or rather Stacks, close behind.
Tap of the orb forces out a bit of that spam. Now you see, it's going to be that lockdown being used. Respect has to be shown here into the corner of the sides. Reconsidering though which way they want to go. It's just a lockdown to try and fake presence. Players are moving all over this place though. Arby with a pop flash right through the corner. Victor does trade out the kill.
And FNS is on the lurk. This was all a double fake.
Yeah, the double fake. Tried to sell it as a fake initially, but space has been granted to them in mid and into the backside of B. The DRX players are left scrambling a little bit. Left unaware, spray down with the Odin. Victor narrowly avoiding just the beam of damage.
These are going to be rough post-plant positions, though. OpTic, all three players. Oh no, Marv actually got back into B main. So this is looking fairly good here.
This could be everything.
Marv has got to find the value. Buzz has a choice here. He can either go on a long lurk or meet up with the rest of his team. He just decides there's not enough time to go and flush out a B main player. Everything on Marv.
And Marv has to be the playmaker. Double flash play, swings into it! Two players sprayed, Victor returns with more. And I know where the last is, Zest. Back against the wall now, Nanoswarm pushes him back. He's gonna exchange it for the rifle, but the time is ticking. The spike is ticking. Maybe we get 1 or 2 kills, but Victor, what a set play. Supplementing it, him and Marv, making sure that even with the player disadvantage, they could take that round away.
That's such a beautiful post plan. It feels like Victor's utility to support his teammates on this map is second to none.
Yeah.
It's a little flash that Marv turns away from, and everybody just goes forwards. Victor's really good at that when they're playing defense as well, flashing in for the players at back B site to anchor. This pushes DRX down onto a 3. OpTic are slowly clawing this one back. The question is whether they have enough buffer rounds to give.
Yeah. Still only 2 rounds, that's all it'll take for DRX. So, on the eco, Buzz does have the knives available to him, and he's definitely been making plays. Feels like that head-to-head, you know, the Jet, the Jet matchup. RB, flash. Bigger peek into it, has to respect that, no! Okay, hopping away, OpTic can't quite claim the kill, dashing into the smoke! Oh, they return the fire! One and for all, trying to barrel their way through though. OpTic do not want to give up this space lightly. Bit of a spray down, but the weapon's not quite working out. Still, a Sheriff from the warbang angle. Victor will eventually fall. And up top, Stacks!
What a missed opportunity!
You can't miss shots like that.
But Marv's position has been given away, and he's allowed to slink back.
Back to safety in that 2v3. A rifle in the hands of the Marved! Aggressive positioning was played for.
And Stacks gets another one, another bite at it. This time, able to come away with the goods.
Crashes has to play against the recon dart, and is too predictable with the movement. And that buffer that we were talking about prior, DRX, despite the fact that they're on that eco round, it matters not. Bringing it to map point.
This round begins. This round begins with a punish onto Ye, really, as he dashes into the site. You know, Victor whiffs the opportunity at killing RB, and then Ye tries to dash in to punish. And instead, there's a crossfire set up, and someone gets inside Ye's smoke and beams him down with a frenzy. These are just the small gaps that OpTic are leaving in their executes, and DRX are exploiting them.
Yeah.
Mako played it beautifully there with Frenzy in hand.
Fully exposed.
And
Move at the start.
it is a shoddy force buy from OpTic.
So weak. Thin juice buy, to take a phrase out of Panpok's book.
Crashies looking like he wants to set up for this. Oh, and the jet diff.
It manifests itself. One shot to the head, straight through the wall. And Buzz still holding his ground into the close quarters. A 4v5, it has to be the hero play to stay in this map. Finesse has crawled his way up close against this. Using it, but he's revealed. As soon as the smoke dissipates. And the play, well, it's going to have to be made with the Hunter's Fury. Scatters his way across, updrafting, avoiding it, narrowly in the coverage once more. One after the other, swinging through. Full support. As the rest of the DRX roster make short work of the OpTic push.
DRX's defense has just looked so good here. Their mastery of Ascent, the positions that they're playing, and try as you might, Crashies is not winning this one. The 1v5.
All the utility used, and as soon as the wall goes down, DRX